Hi folks, gather around while I tell you a story. That's it, kids. A story of communism, a story of massacre, a story of freedom and independence. The year is 1990 and it's in the Eurasian country of Azerbaijan. But at that time Azerbaijan was not an independent country. It was gobbled up in 1919, I think, and part of the Soviet Empire. The evil empire. Commie-land. Yeah! A neighboring republic attempted to confiscate some land from Azerbaijan, but the people in Azerbaijan did not approve of it, so there was massive demonstrations in the capital of Baku. Mikhail Gorbachev sent in 20,000 Soviet communist troops for a 4-month occupation, resulting in approximately 500 Azerbaijan citizens being massacred by the commie troops, in addition to about 120 babies when the communist troops turned the electricity off at a local hospital. Those infants in incubators and other life support systems died. No electricity. Now I tell you this story because of a gentleman on YouTube, the CaspianReport. That's his channel. His name is Shaban. I suggest you click onto his channel, link in the description, because he has thorough, insightful, and analytical videos on geopolitics related around the world. He lives in Azerbaijan. He's a citizen there. And here's what happened. When that demonstration took place in 1990, when everybody in Baku filled the square, the Soviet tanks rolled in and surrounded the square. Well, Shaban was there as an infant. His aunt took him to the square. Well, the Soviets would not allow anyone to leave who did not have their papers with them. If they did not have papers, they put them into trucks, never to be seen again. Shaban and his aunt were allowed to go because he was an infant. She did not have the papers, but they figured she was no harm since she had the infant with her. His father was not so lucky. The commies took him for 4 months, tortured him, beat him up. You see, at the end of the 4 months, what happened was, the people in Baku, approximately 1 million of them, gathered in that square to protest the Soviet occupation, military occupation. Well, the Soviets did not have the stomach to perform another Tiananmen Square as the year before happened in the Middle Kingdom by the commies in China, when they had no problem massacring all their people in Tiananmen Square. So the Soviets left. Thanks to the brave people of Azerbaijan and Baku by standing up to them. Well, after 4 months, when the Soviets left, his father returns home, beat up and bruised and bleeding. For 4 months they beat him up and they tortured him. This is the evil of communism, folks. Let me explain to you about Azerbaijan. An independent country on the Caspian Sea with the Russian Bear to the north and the lunatic government of Iran to the south. In 1918, Azerbaijan gained its independence. And it was a Muslim nation and still is. But it is not a Muslim nation most of us equate with here in the West. It's a secular Muslim nation, such as the United States. It's basically a Christian nation, but it's a secular Christian nation. Well, then a few years after their independence, the Soviets rolled in, they took over Azerbaijan, and it was part of them till around 1991, when the Soviet Union, the evil empire, collapsed, thanks to President Ronald Reagan, Lady Margaret Thatcher, Pope John Paul. That's it, kids. The three of them were responsible for the Soviet Union collapsing. The problem now is the Iranians to the south. They are not happy with Azerbaijan because it's a secular nation. They want it to be, since it's a majority Muslim nation, they want it to be run just like Iran. But I think they're going to have a problem because the people in Azerbaijan once before stood up to tyranny, and I have the confidence that they'll do it again. Alright folks, we'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the nation you happen to be in. And to the people of Azerbaijan, being the month of January, which you call Black January because that's when that massacre happened, all us freedom-loving people around the world, our hearts are with you. We stand with you in solidarity with your freedom and during your month of remembering the massacre that took place. We'll see you folks.